So we are recording, and I am really excited to kick off our 30 Days to Better Health and Wellness group that we are going to be meeting weekly to discuss various topics related to our health and wellness. Tonight, we are going to be talking about detoxification. I have sent out handouts, but for those of you who watch later, if you want to get a hold of that handout, you can just email it through whoever invited you, or ask whoever invited you, and I'll get that emailed to you. So what is detoxification? Detoxification is a systematic process where we are removing toxic or harmful substances from our body. So mainly it's carried out through the liver. And the purpose is really for us to heal the body and help improve overall health and wellness. So every day we know that we are exposed to harmful and toxic chemicals and substances that exist in our environment. It's in the food that we eat, it's in the water we drink, it's in the air that we breathe. It's also in many of the products that we put on our skin, our hair, etc. And we know that the skin is the largest detoxifying organ of the body. If you're using Arbonne products, I have to put my little caveat in there, that's not an issue we really need to worry about because our products are pure, safe, and beneficial. But in general, we are exposed to these toxins all the time, and they do accumulate in our bodies. They tend to overload the liver. So what happens is we're putting more toxins into our body than our liver can handle. Over time, those toxins kind of leak out into our system and begin to attack our cells and break things down. And so we end up having things occur like decreased immune function, inflammation in the body, which sometimes results in joint pain, cell damage, and other issues that are related to the body kind of attacking itself due to these toxins that have accumulated. So we know that over time that can lead to even more serious health-related illnesses, autoimmune issues, anti-inflammatory conditions, and disease. So great reason why we should detox at least annually, if not more regularly than that, to get these things out of our system so that we can be healthy and well and maintain the systems and organs of our body. So I want to read a couple things because some facts are a little scary. They're a little intimidating. I read an article, 10 Ways to Detox Your Body and Feel Great Again, written by a woman named Linda Mercer Gilbert, and she included some information that I think is really relevant. She says, in his article, Autoimmune Disease, How to Stop Your Body from Attacking Itself, Dr. Mark Hyman writes, over 80,000 chemicals have been introduced into our society since 1900, and only 550 have been tested for safety. According to the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency, about 2.5 billion pounds of toxic chemicals are released yearly by large industrial facilities. And 6 million pounds of mercury are poured into our air every year. In fact, a recent government survey, the National Report on Human Exposure to Environmental Chemicals, issued in 2005, found an average of 148 chemical compounds in our body. In addition, over 10,000 food and chemical additives have been identified, and it's been estimated the average American consumes approximately 14 pounds of additives per year. Okay, that's a lot. 14 pounds of additives a year. If we're not doing something to detoxify our body, they stay in our body and they cause problems. And so that's my plug for why we really need to detox. So regular detoxing has a lot of benefits. It helps to improve our energy levels. It improves our immunity. It increases our metabolism. It improves cognitive function so we can think clearly, we have a good memory, we have better focus. It improves our mood and helps to decrease mood swings. It improves digestion and elimination. It improves organ function, including our liver, kidneys, colon, urinary tract, digestive tract, or gut. It reduces inflammation in the body. It improves the appearance of skin, and it improves our sleep. So lots of great benefits to why we should detox beyond the obvious of wanting to just get these chemicals out of our system so our system can function, you know, optimally. So when should I detox? A lot of people don't know when, you know, is a good time to detox. I personally think it's important to do it at least once a year, like I said, to just get those chemicals and things out of our bodies. But there are definitely symptoms that can show up when our liver starts to become overloaded. It could mean that it's time to cleanse, right? So we have symptoms like digestive complaints, like bloating, gas, constipation, irregular elimination, or nausea. When our metabolism is sluggish or we have difficulty losing weight. When we start to have foggy thinking or difficulties with memory, or we're losing focus when we are having conversations. I don't know about you guys, but that happens to me. And it's frustrating because I'll be in the middle of a conversation with somebody and not remember what I was talking about. Or I'll have a conversation with my husband, who's right here and is going to nod his head, and I'll forget something he shared with me and ask him the same question later. And he's like, Dawn, I just told you that. And so these kinds of things happen. And it's really frustrating because we're intelligent people, right? We're capable people, but our system gets bogged down and it affects our ability to really function as well as we would like to. It can also result in difficulty sleeping. So that's another symptom that might show up. Fatigue or fluctuations in our energy levels, especially after eating. So, for example, if you notice that after you eat a meal, you feel like you need to take a nap, that's a really good indicator that your body isn't you know, functioning properly and that the liver might be taxed a little bit. Skin issues, so dry or itchy skin, acne, eczema, psoriasis, frequent rashes, that sort of thing. Headaches, mood swings or sadness and depression, food sensitivities or intolerances. I'm having trouble talking today. I'm on the cleanse and I'm on day 2 and I'm a little, I'll explain later what to expect, but I'm in day 2 mode. And so my brain and mouth aren't connected today, I'm finding. But anyway, so food sensitivities and intolerances or even allergies that worsen over time. And so I've noticed in myself that I've developed an intolerance or a sensitivity to gluten. And this is something that I've been kind of working through. And there are times where it bothers me more than others, but I can tell you right after a cleanse, it doesn't bother me nearly as much as it does like right now, right before I started a cleanse. And so my body tends to build up over time and it gets worse. Sensitivity to chemicals or cleaning products. Problems digesting fatty foods. So if you feel really awful after you eat something that's high in fat, that's another indicator. Hot flashes, dark urine, a yellow tinge of the eyes or the skin, and intolerance to alcohol. And so that can show up in lots of different ways. Headaches, not feeling well when you drink alcohol, becoming more sensitive to alcohol and its effects and that sort of thing. Okay, so these are just some of the symptoms that could be indicators that your liver function might be impaired or even sluggish and it's time to cleanse. But I do think it's wise to cleanse regularly. I like to personally cleanse with the seasons. About every 3 to 4 months, I know it's time. I know it's time for my body to go through a cleansing and to kind of reset everything. And so I've started mine already. You guys will be starting this week, I hope, or when it works with your schedule. But I started yesterday, and I'm using the Arbonne 7-day body cleanse. So we're going to be talking about ways to detox. This is the first one we're going to talk about, is a systematic detoxification program like Arbonne's. Okay, so this is a 7-day cleanse, and you get 7 little pouches that look like this that you pour into a water bottle. You want 32 ounces of water, and you will drink that throughout the day. We're going to talk about the instructions in just a few moments, you know, specific instructions of like what to avoid eating and what to eat and that sort of thing. But it's a very easy process, and it naturally will help to eliminate those toxins from the system and then help to repair even damage that's been done to the liver so it can function at its best. So other things that help us to just be detoxing on a regular basis, making sure we're consuming enough water. And so a lot of times people don't know how much water they should really be drinking. The rule of thumb is that we should drink half of our body weight in ounces. So for example, if we weighed 140 pounds, we would want to consume half of that, 70 ounces in water every day. Okay, so that's a general rule of thumb. Most of us don't come anywhere near that. But when we're drinking enough water, it really helps to keep the body in that detox mode where it's pushing toxins through, but it also helps to maintain our metabolism. So if we are exercising or we're in a hot climate, like I am in Arizona, we need to increase our intake of water even more, dependent on how much we're sweating, okay? Consuming foods that are high in antioxidants. So I got a list of the top 10 antioxidant foods. I gave you guys a link here that you can go and look it up. But they rated them based on their antioxidant qualities. Goji berries, blueberries, dark chocolate, yes. Pecans, artichokes, elderberries, kidney beans, cranberries, and cilantro rank among the top 10 antioxidant foods. Okay, so you can reference the article. I gave you a link. Also, Dr. Andrew Weil has an anti-inflammatory, he has a whole diet, he has a whole restaurant called True Foods that's dedicated to anti-inflammatory foods. And he has a whole website dedicated to this anti-inflammatory knowledge. And so if you want to get on there, that's another great place that you can go to learn more about foods that are high in antioxidants and that are good for inflammatory processes. But these are things that we should be consuming on a regular basis to make sure that we're staying in that mode of removing toxins from the body and having a healthy liver. Ayurveda says that we should eat our largest meal in the middle of the day when our digestion is strongest. And so really it kind of goes with the sun. So when you think about when the sun is kind of at its peak, so between like 12 and 2, depending on the time of year, is a really good time to have your largest meal. It gives the body time to digest it. And so when we have a meal that's not quite as large later in the evening, then our body goes into detox mode. It goes into repair mode overnight. And so it gives the body the ability to really manage the toxins and push them through. So another great suggestion. Using safe, natural cleaning products or make your own using essential oils. A lot of the chemicals that get into our skin and get into our bodies come through the things that we use every day in our household. And this is an area that we need to make some adjustments. I use some, but not all, and I really need to use more natural cleaning products. Switching to natural skincare, hair care, and cosmetics. Like I mentioned earlier, the skin is the largest filtering organ, the largest detoxifying organ of the body. And luckily, we have a great company called Arbonne that has a wide range of choices to take care of all of these areas. Practicing meditation and or yoga. Hi, hello. Practicing meditation and or yoga. So this is another great way to keep your body in that healing state and in that detoxifying state. Exercising regularly, especially including cardiovascular forms of exercise, letting the body sweat a little bit. Very important to help purify and detoxify the body. Deep breathing exercises. So it's been said that anywhere from 60 to 70% of our toxins are released through our breathing, through our exhales. So we want to make sure that we're practicing good breathing techniques to be maintaining, good health in our lungs, but also to be detoxifying and purifying the body. Drinking green smoothies. So this is another great way to get antioxidants into the body and good nutrition into the body, and making sure that our liver is functioning well. Arbonne has a greens balance drink that's wonderful, that I highly recommend. But certainly, you know, there are other, making your own green drinks using fresh fruits and vegetables, always a wonderful idea. And with respect to that, we often say to eat the rainbow. That's one of the things I love about Arbonne's, that really covers the color spectrum of our fruits and vegetables. And that's something you want to do when you're putting your smoothies together, is consider the rainbow, all the different colors of the rainbow, and trying to have them represented when you're eating, because it does help to keep the antioxidant levels high in your body, and helps the body to detox naturally. Getting massages regularly. I know that people think that massages are just like a luxury, but that's not true at all. It really helps to not only increase circulation and detoxification through the skin and through the tissues and the organs of the body, but it helps with the lymphatic system. And so we want to make sure we're detoxifying that lymphatic system on a regular basis, and massage can really assist with that. Sweating in a wet or a dry sauna. Again, sweating is really good for the body. It helps the body to rid itself naturally of toxins that we hold on to. Drinking hot water with fresh squeezed lemon in the morning. This has been proven for thousands of years, and it's very much a component of Ayurvedic wellness and medicine, that it helps to keep the body not only in a detox mode where the liver is being nurtured and nourished so that it can continue to do its job effectively, but it also helps to improve our energy levels and our mental clarity and focus. Ayurvedic also suggests drinking hot water throughout the day to maintain what we call Agni, our digestive Agni. So it keeps the fires of digestion going. And so basically you boil water for about 10 minutes, because that kind of heats up and gets the energy going in the water. And then you just put that in a thermos and you drink it throughout the day, and that will detoxify the body throughout the day. Drinking detox tea or green tea, again, another great way to keep that body in a detoxifying mode. Arbonne has a wonderful herbal detox tea, and I drink it quite regularly. I love the taste of it. It's very good, and it's got no caffeine in it. But again, it's going to be constantly nourishing and nurturing that liver and its processes to make sure that we're pushing toxins through the body. Using a tongue scraper daily. This is another Ayurvedic technique. If you notice in the morning, our tongue sometimes has a white coat on it. Those are actually toxins that are coming out through our tongue throughout the throughout the night. Our body goes through that detoxification process. And so in the morning, scraping the tongue is one way to kind of pull some of that out of the body. Journaling your thoughts and emotions to purge them. So I want to talk about emotional detox here a little bit too. We hold on to stuff, right? There are things that we attached to, emotions that we roll around with that are not healthy, that are toxic to us, or thoughts that are toxic. And if we have a great way, whether it's through yoga or meditation or prayer or journaling, as a vehicle to kind of purge our body of those, they don't stick around in our system. And so we know that beyond our physical body, we do have an energy body, and we hold on to things in our tissues. So we want to be purging ourselves of negative thoughts and negative emotions and the things that literally can kind of become like sludge in our system emotionally. Okay, so those are just some suggestions for ways to kind of continually detox and stay in a healthy mode with your digestion and with your liver function. So I want to go ahead and give you guys the instructions. So I want to introduce you once again to the 7-day body cleanse. This is a beverage of detoxifying botanicals. It has marine botanicals infused with concentrated treatment to help stimulate, strengthen, and support health and beauty from the inside out, assisting with elimination, and helps to flush out excess fluids. So I want to be really clear that this is not a fast. This is not a diet, okay? it goes in conjunction with our 30-day 30 Days to Healthy Living and Beyond support guide. So it can be infused into, you know, a healthy overall lifestyle, but it is not considered a diet, and this is not a fast, okay? So you take one of the little pouches, like I showed you earlier, and you're gonna mix it with 32 ounces of water. So I have my little water bottle, my Arbonne bottle, and you're gonna drink that throughout the day. You do not want to drink it all at one time. And you definitely don't want to drink it all at one time at night, okay, because it is going to stimulate the body to purge. So if you're drinking it slowly and regularly throughout the day, it will happen very naturally and very gently. Otherwise, maybe not so much, okay? So I remember being in a talk with Cindy where a woman said that she drank all of them at one time without what, right? She drank them all. She didn't follow the instructions. She drank them all. And let's just say she had a really rough night. So that's not something you want to do. So while you're cleansing, you are eating, okay? This is not about fasting and not eating. You want to make sure your diet is clean and healthy, and you're eating whole foods, natural foods. And I would actually suggest organic whenever you can, okay? If you're not going to eat organic, make sure you're really cleaning your fruits and vegetables. Because like I mentioned before, we have lots and lots of chemicals that will show up on our food in the forms of pesticides and herbicides and things like that. So we want to make sure that our food is as pure as possible, especially if we're in a cleansing mode, right? So for optimal results, we're going to refrain from alcohol, caffeine, dairy, gluten, and sugar. Okay, I also would add meat to that. Okay, so definitely red meat and pork. I would say a little chicken isn't going to be real harmful if you have some chicken throughout the cleanse, but protein is very difficult for the body to digest, so you want easy forms of protein for the body to digest if you're in a cleansing mode. So I usually stick with fish as my protein source. So fish, you know, tuna fish, that sort of thing. So here's a list of things that are recommended, and then things that we should probably avoid. So eat this. On that list, we've got brown rice pasta. Yay, some pasta. Brown rice cakes or tortillas. Gluten-free oatmeal. The Arbonne Detox or green tea. Water or lemon with Arbonne fizz tabs. So the Arbonne fizz tabs are a separate, you know, obviously a separate product, but they can be used in place of any caffeinated beverage, and they have a lot of healthy vitamins to help energize you and lift you up, and some natural forms of caffeine that aren't going to be as harmful as coffee, for example. So green apples are something that are recommended. Fresh fruits and berries. Stevia or xylitol if you're going to have any kind of sweetener at all. Fresh herbs. Blue agave nectar if you also need another form of a sweetener. Almond butter. Coconut products. Leafy greens and steamed vegetables and lean proteins. Okay, so these are what are recommended during the cleanse period, the 7 days. Things to avoid would include white rice or white flour pasta, white or wheat bread, flour or corn tortillas, regular oatmeal because it oftentimes contains gluten. So we're trying to avoid the gluten because it can have a harmful effect on the belly. Coffee, soda or diet soda, red apples, dried fruit, bananas, melons, or grapes. And so it's interesting because I just now noticed this week for the first time. I've done this cleanse a million times, and I always throw a banana in my smoothie. And so now I'm going, oh man, because I like my frozen banana in my smoothie, but it is high in sugar, so I understand why it's on the list. Sugar or artificial sweeteners, nitrates, salt or MSG, honey, peanut butter, soy products, vinegar products, cheese, cream, dairy, or milk. Okay, so these are the things that we want to avoid. So obviously, you know, if you have any health-related issues, you would want to make sure you get clearance from a doctor before you did something like this. But, you know, generally it's safe for most people. So keep that in mind. So I want to tell you a little bit about what to expect. I'm on day 2. Day 1, generally, I don't notice a whole lot. Like, it doesn't feel like very different to me, other than it might start to stimulate some elimination. Okay. Day 2 to day 3 is where you might start to feel like you're kind of sluggish, kind of cloudy. You might develop a headache depending on how many toxins you have in your body. You might start to have some cravings. Like today, for example, I noticed I was really craving sugar for some reason. Yesterday, I was really craving caffeine. And I was like, kind of like fixated on, oh, can I just have a couple sips of coffee? You know, it was like, that was kind of what was spinning around in my head. But today it was sugar. So you might find that some of the things that, you know, you really have an affinity for might show up in the form of cravings. And especially as your body's starting to purge them, that's totally natural that if these are, you know, toxins that have been in your system and you're starting to purge them, all of a sudden you're thinking about replacing them because the body is used to having them there and now they're going away, right? And the body's saying, wait a second, let's get some sugar to replace that, right? So, so just be patient with yourself and the process and have some grace. I mean, obviously, if we get into a mode of thinking that is very legalistic, so to speak, the 7 days can feel like a really long time. But if you allow yourself to go, okay, I can do pretty much anything for 7 days. Yeah, you know, this is the recommended list, but if I deviate from that list a tiny bit, it's not going to kill me. It's not going to ruin my cleanse. So, you know, give yourself a little bit of leeway so that you don't go into what we call deprivation mentality. When we deprive ourselves of something, we fixate on it. It's all we think about. So we want to be really careful to not go into that kind of thinking, and to give ourselves some leeway and some grace here. Okay. So, Cindy, do you have anything to add?
Sorry, Dawn, I needed to come off mute. I think you hit everything that what I have found from the people that I know that have been on this, clients over the past, say, 10 years that have been on the cleanse. I think we've had it for about that long. Mm-hmm. Is that everyone kind of has a different road to it. And so when you were talking about how much you have to detox, I know my sister and I were talking about this, and if we do this at least twice a year, if we keep on it 2 to 3 times a year, we find we don't have the same effects.
Yeah.
So, you know, maybe 3 times a year, I think, is the most that Jenny and I go on it and use the 7-day cleanse part of it. But that little piece for me personally, I get stubborn, and so those on the call that know that, I'm like, I don't care. I'm adding coffee because I make my own rules, which aren't always good. But I'm like, I'm having coffee. That's, you know, I'm having less. I'm not going to have 2 cups. I'm going to have less than 1 cup. I'm going to use coconut cream, you know. So that's just, you know, just know that, you know, we don't have to have little secrets and little lies about it. If we have to make a little adaptation, that's okay. But still, that's good because then I'm not doing half and half. I'm not having 2 or 3 cups. I'm having less than a cup. I make it stronger. But, you know, go for the fizzes. So if you figure a little cheat and then just try to move from it a little bit, like maybe it's a cup that first day of coffee. For some people like me, they get horrible headaches when I go off of it. Mm-hmm. So maybe it's a cup and a cup and a half that first day. Maybe the second day I'm going a little bit less. The third day I'm going a little bit less until by the end of my 7-day cleanse, I'm not even drinking the coffee anymore.
Yeah.
So just ways that we can adapt. If you could do cold turkey and go for it, great. Just expect to have some of those things like you talked about and that we know are normal, right?
Right.
And then I make it fun. Like I make my shakes fun. I make my fruits and vegetables fun. I get excited about it. I prepare my foods in advance. I'm cutting up my celery and my carrots and my green apples, and I'm trying to prepare that food in making sure that my refrigerator is stocked with all that good stuff, so I don't go, oh my gosh, now I have to run out to a meeting, I haven't eaten the right thing, and now I'm stopping and getting something I shouldn't be eating.
Right. Yeah.
So, in keeping that 7-day cleanse cold, the drink that you're drinking and from the little package, the colder the better. It's not awful tasting. It kind of tastes like an old tea, old wine, just kind of somewhere in between there. Ocean botanicals in it. But if it's really cold, it seems like more bearable.
Yeah. Yeah. I think also, like you said, Cindy, it is going to be dependent on, how many toxins you are releasing. And obviously, if you get to a point where you're doing it regularly, it's just maintenance. It's not as difficult as if you do it less frequently and you consume a lot of toxins or are exposed to a lot of toxins in that interim time. So, so that definitely makes a difference. But usually I find by like day 4, I feel great. I have tons of energy. My mind clears. I feel really focused, and I feel great. So it's just that first couple of days. So if you start to have headaches, if you start to have some cravings, if you have some foggy thinking, or you feel tired, if you even feel like kind of flu-ish, that's all normal. That's your body pushing through the toxins. And just know that it'll pass. Just give it a couple days. I remember Lynn, the last time she did her cleanse, she had like pretty serious headaches for a couple of days, and then it just passed. It was just gone, right? So just hang in there. But like you said, Cindy, don't torture yourself. I mean, if that headache is screaming and just a little tiny bit of coffee is going to make it not scream, it's not going to, in the overall picture, ruin your cleanse, right? Yeah. So just keep that in mind for sure. So any questions about the cleanse? You guys can start anytime you want, whenever works with your lifestyle. I decided to start clean on Monday this week just because I wanted to. So, whenever works for you, to do that 7 days. Sean, do you know when you're planning on starting?
No, I haven't thought about it yet. So maybe this weekend?
Yeah. I find if day 2 or 3 shows up over the weekend when I don't have to be as productive. Okay. So starting maybe even like on Thursday, Wednesday or Thursday, so that day 3, let me think. Yeah. So like day 3 would be Saturday, and, then you'd be kind of moving through. So day 2 or 3 should be Saturday, Sunday. So yeah, maybe starting like Thursday would be a good idea for you. And that way, the harder time of it, like when you're not feeling as good, would fall on times where you don't need to be quite as productive,
And Dawn, I think too what helps, and Sean, you may want to think about that, for some people, depending on how much they need, and I know I super need this cleanse bad, I kind of do a pre-cleanse. Yeah. I spend about 4 or 5 days just starting to remove some things from my diet.
Well, I was just thinking that as she was talking, that maybe I should wean off a few things first.
Yeah, I think it makes it easier on our system, and then when we add this in, and then for some people that just have a tough time with our cleanse, another thing you can do is split it in half, and you can stretch it out for 14 days. I mean, if you want to do a 14-day, you could do half of those packages and make that 7-day stretch out. There's even other things you can do, such as if you pick like 2 or 3 days for the next 3 or 4 weeks that you want to do, a solid cleanse, just another way of cleansing, not to be confusing, but you could do 2 or 3 days and then be gentle the other days, and then do 2 or 3 days, just something that's somewhat consistent. So for some people that have trouble, they just digestively, less, half a pack, I think is a good option. So definitely anyone who listens to this recording that's not on the call that has questions, talk to Dawn and I about that, because if you get on it, instead of just saying this is not working or I don't feel very good, get on a call. Let's talk about some ways you can stay on it, but back off a little bit. And I think the pre-detox time period really super helps.
Yeah, it does. Definitely. I find especially like eliminating caffeine and alcohol, or really cutting back on caffeine and alcohol before starting the cleanse helps a lot.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, and if you're eating a lot of, you know, sugar, for example, that would be another, or sugar or flour, you know, breads, that sort of thing. A lot of us don't do that anymore, but, you know, for those people who do, that can be another place that shows up, you know, in the form of headaches and not feeling so good. So that would be recommended, you know, to kind of cut back on those things leading up to it.
I don't know if there's anything scientific to this, but the other thing I've done when I try to cut out caffeine is go to the chiropractor.
Yeah.
That helps my head. If I go before I cut it, or like when I start to try to cut it out, it seems to help my headaches.
Oh my gosh, thank you for sharing that.
Great idea. And I would add that to ways to stay healthy in that detox mode. Chiropractic is another great way, because it keeps, you know, everything working the way it should be, and, you know, hopefully. So yeah, great. Thank you. Well, I want to introduce you guys to the Arbonne 30 days and beyond, or 30 days to healthy living and beyond support guide that you have. I sent you all a copy via PDF, but Sean, you should have gotten one with your kit, right? Did you get one?
No, I didn't open the box yet. I have to be honest. But it's right over there.
It's in the box. It should be in the box. I think so. But either way, you have a PDF of it as well.
No, I got the PDF, yes.
Yeah, and so the other people who are going to be listening to this call later, y'all have that support guide. And so this just kind of introduces you to like kicking off with the cleanse, and then kind of moving into some healthy, sustainable changes that we can make to really improve our health. And so it talks about Arbonne's nutritional products and goal setting, gives you some suggested meal plans, and then some other tools and information and resources. So during the cleanse, the one thing I do want to highly suggest is doing the protein shake with it. Okay, so Sean, I know you got that, and I think everyone of my people who are going to listen to this call later are going to be on the shake as well. And so it's vegan, gluten-free, dairy-free, wonderful shake that is comprised of cranberry, rice, and pea protein, super easy to digest. And so you can mix that with, you know, fruits. You can mix it with almond butter. You can throw spinach in there or greens in there. I like to mix it personally with almond milk and make it, or even coconut milk, and you can make it like a meal replacement. So in the morning, you know, great way to kick off your day, because it'll give you the energy that you need, lots of vitamins and minerals, a great bump of protein, 20 grams of protein to kind of carry you through the morning. I'm not even hungry when I have my protein shake when I'm on the cleanse. Like, I don't even feel hungry. So so that's a great way to get that nutrition in there and the protein, because obviously we're going to be pulling back on a lot of items during the cleanse, especially, you know, meats and things. And so this is a great way to get some protein in. The other thing too is to do your detox tea daily. You can even do up to 2 a day if you want to. I think that you got 2 packages in your 30-day startup kit. So you can do up to 2 a day. That's going to also help the process along too. I find it really helps with the headaches. So, Cindy, do you agree with that? When you do detox tea? Yeah. So sometimes I'll get the caffeine craving, but I'll also have that dull kind of foggy headachy thing going on. And the detox tea really takes care of that. So today, I probably should have had one. Instead, I went and laid down because I was like, oh my gosh, I'm really tired. But then I woke up feeling much better. So rest when you need to rest too. I mean, the body is working really hard to purge itself of toxins. So if you feel a little tired and you need to lay down for 20 minutes, so what, right? Give your body what it needs. Really listen to your body. So those are the three things I would say definitely be using during the 7-day period. But then you have the fizzies that you can use as a caffeine kind of supplement, right? So it's got B12 and other vitamins in it. Cindy, do you know offhand some of the ingredients? I don't have my ingredients in front of me.
One of my favorite, let me grab it here, one of my favorite pieces in here, ingredients, is the guarana. Or not the guarana, of course, because it has the caffeine. That is the rhodiola.
Oh, yeah.
Rhodiola, because the rhodiola it's a mood lifter. It's like a natural mood lifter. And I feel like that really helps during that detox time too. If you start, because I think feeling a little bit moody during that time is normal too. So it's a really nice mood lift, and it's a B, and then there's the B complex. So I think the rhodiola and a B complex is really a nice pep. Of course, you have chromium, sodium, potassium. You have green tea. You have taurine. So the ginseng root powder is in there as well. And there's like 2 grams of carbohydrates, about 13 calories, but who's counting calories? Because we don't need to count them.
Calories.
And in the sugars, what they use to sweeten is the stevia. So there's not, there is some natural sugar cane in this though, but a very small amount. And heck, it's a lot better than having your coffee or
energy drink.
A soda. And I did have my neighbor who was talking to me about trying to help a client who was on like Mountain Dew, like a horrible amount of Mountain Dew, and I think has Parkinson's. I mean, just is really struggling getting off the sodas. And she said, I'm going to do a little carbonated water, and the fizz. So they kind of get that sensation of having that along with the fizz. So, just different things to kind of pull yourself off of it.
So you can do one of those little packets in how much water? 16 ounces of water?
Yeah, I think it's always better for us to have more, but at least 8 ounces of water is what the instructions are. You can have, you can do more of that. You can even add these to your shake. If you're like, I don't have time to drink all these different things, like I'm drinking my cleanse, I'm doing my shake, I'm doing my tea, like how you can put a fizz in your detox tea. I forgot we had a cute little name for that, but that works really good, a fizz in a detox tea. Or you can even take a fizz and put it in your shake if you feel like you just don't have time to drink all these things.
Yeah. The other thing you can do for me, one packet of that is it's too much flavor. So I like to cut it in half and then, use that in a bottle of water. So you'll get, 2 uses out of it, but you still get that, you still get the benefits. But it's, it's just watered down a little bit. And I just don't like all that flavor personally. So
right. And it's less guarana. And let's face it, guarana, even though it's a natural caffeine source, there's about 50 milligrams. It's way less than a Starbucks, but it's still caffeine.
Yeah.
And we're so clean, we want to keep that level down, right? Especially for me, anytime after 2, I can't really take them. I can't really do the fizz without being tossing and turning at night.
So also in your 30 Days to Healthy Living package was a daily fiber boost. So most people don't get adequate fiber in their diet. They recommend 25 grams a day. So this gives us 12 grams a day. It doesn't have any flavor at all, and you can throw that in your shake as well to give it that fiber boost. And also the fiber will increase the satiation level. It'll help it last longer. So you feel fuller longer. So it's a great gluten-free fiber source, and it has no cholesterol, no trans fats, and gives us 48% of our RDA of fiber. So that you can add to your protein shakes. That will really help to also maintain that cleansing from the colon. Fiber basically is like taking a little brush through the colon to clean it out, and it's really, really important for colon health. So that's, something that you can add to your shakes. We also have the Digestion Plus. And so the Digestion Plus has prebiotics and probiotics and digestive enzymes. So this really helps support gastrointestinal health. It helps to promote proper digestion of all of our macronutrients so they get absorbed better into the body. And then it helps to just maintain our gastrointestinal balance. So, so that you can, you can add to any liquid. Cindy likes to do hers in a shot form. I personally, it's a little gritty. It's kind of tastes like you're eating kind of sandy dirt. I don't know, right? Mm-hmm. It's not a terrible flavor or anything, but so throwing it into like some juice or, into a little almond milk or whatever you might be drinking, and then, or water, and then, taking that down before you.
That's another one you can add to your shake.
I didn't know you could do that.
Yeah, I was just on a training. It was a short time ago. I would have talked about that before because I was feeling like it had to be done separate in a certain time of the day. My sister likes to do hers in the morning. I would always do mine at night, a half hour. That's what I thought after I ate a meal. But you can also add it in with a shake, and it's just going to help your whole digestion system in that process of digesting that shake when you kind of study how that works. So
yeah,
I think it's just not putting it in anything hot. I think that may change the chemical component of it. I know we have a scientist on the call. She could probably tell us why if she studied it. But I think that's the only no-no is not to put it in hot water. So you wouldn't want to put it in your detox tea.
Yeah. In the instructions, it tells you that you can mix it with any cold liquid. So, yeah. So those components together are going to give you a really nice boost. You're going to feel great. You're going to be giving your body, all it needs in terms of nutrition to kind of carry us through that 7-day period and then beyond. And so, obviously we want to start to develop those habits post cleanse that we can maintain ongoing. And so this booklet, if you take some time to kind of look through it, gives you lots of great suggestions. Talks about other products that we have available to help support your health and wellness. One of the product lines that I really love is the Phytosport line. That one is great to use in conjunction with exercise. So we have a hydration drink, we have a pre-workout drink, and then we have a post-workout drink. And they're, just jam-packed with vitamins and minerals and electrolytes, to make sure that the body is balanced for the stresses that we put on it. So those are, certainly things that we can get you samples of if you guys want to try those things to see if you like them. And they're items that I use pretty regularly. I really like the way they work. The post-workout drink, Cindy and I are finding, has a lot of other really great benefits. So my mother had tremendous joint pain and swelling after we flew to Denver for training a few weeks ago. What was it, a month ago? I don't know. Anyway, Cindy gave her the post-workout drink, and her inflammation and pain went away. It was crazy. Melanie and I were suffering from kind of some altitude sickness. We weren't feeling very good. We were feeling kind of dizzy and nauseated. We drank that drink. Within 20 minutes, it was gone. We felt better.
And don't tell a lot of people, because I want to really market that here in Denver.
It's crazy.
No, I'm joking. But that's going to get out, because that altitude, and both of you had benefit from that. And I was like, it's not just one person, but both had those symptoms go away. And so Thanksgiving, when I have my family come out, I'm going to make sure to stock up on that, because we're heading up to Breckenridge to go skiing. They're going to need it for how they're going to feel after, and they're going to need it before. So
yeah. The other thing, just a little side note, if you drink a little too much wine, it works for that as well, just FYI. So, if we go to a holiday party and maybe we overindulge a little bit or whatever, that is like a recovery drink. It really literally is a recovery drink. It's fantastic. So I highly recommend it. So anyways, as you go through your booklet, you'll see, like I said, lots of, great information, recipes, There's some good shake recipes in there. I get really creative with my shakes. Oh, by the way, there's a pumpkin spice one in here.
Yeah.
So on page 20, you'll find a pumpkin spice shake recipe. I'm going to have to try that because I love pumpkin flavor. And so basically you're just taking your shake with almond milk, a little bit of pumpkin puree, a pinch of cinnamon, ginger, and nutmeg. Yum.
And that cinnamon is also good. Just throw some cinnamon in your vanilla or chocolate shake if you don't have time to get too fancy. That's really tasty too. Just cinnamon in any of the shake recipes.
Yeah. So
Dawn, there's something else that I know it's not in this book, but I know it's one of your favorite products. And as our bodies are hurting or aching, or we feel like we're hurting from the detox, that soak, don't you think that soak would be great?
Yeah, the sea soak, detox. Yeah, maybe say it wrong. I love it. In fact, Cindy, look, I just got a new box.
Yeah.
So
it's just ways to kind of nourish your body and
I'm going to be using it during my cleanse. That's why I have it sitting here.
Isn't that a way to help also move things out of your body? Or
absolutely, it's wonderful. Really helps to, well, you're detoxing. You detox through your sweat, you detox through your breath, you detox, obviously through your skin and through your liver, through your digestive organs. So any way that we can help to support that process is going to be helpful. And so this is called the Sea Source Detox Spa Purifying Sea Soak. And so including that as part of your cleanse is fantastic. So if you want me to get you guys one, I have some right here. So just let me know if you want me to hook you up with the goods. And then obviously we want to make sure we're moving our body during our cleanse period, right? So exercise. So some form of movement every day. Okay, some form. So whether, you're walking or doing yoga or, even if you're doing some great meditation and breath work, that's going to be helpful too. But trying to find some form of movement, hiking, whatever it is that you enjoy. But that also helps to push things through the muscles and, the muscular system of the body. And so we want to encourage that. Plus the sweating helps. And then we know that when we're doing yoga, we're working within our energy body. And so we're just kind of keeping all of the energy pathways working, and functioning optimally, and keeping our chi, our energy moving throughout our body. So, I would like to see, I was hoping that we could start to form some groups like for hiking and for walking or yoga or whatever. But unfortunately, we've got people starting at different times and kind of all over the place. But if you want an accountability partner, if you want, someone to be checking kind of in on you, hey, how you doing? I'm happy to be that for you, and just kind of give you that nudge, like, in whatever way you need. Or if you just need some coaching and you need some guidance and, or things are coming up in terms of questions about the detox process or whatever. Next week, we're going to talk about some of the fundamentals of nutrition. We're going to really just do some broad strokes about nutrition, and we're going to talk about a concept called balance, variety, and moderation. It's very much a part of the Am I Hungry? Mindful Eating program that I'm a certified trainer for, or a certified coach for. And so I want to start to kind of introduce some of these principles so that we are familiar with them, because it's all part of being healthy and well. Certainly what we put into our body matters, how we move our body matters, what we put on our body matters. And so we're going to be covering all different angles as we have these weekly calls. Okay, so next week our call is going to be at 7 o'clock Phoenix time, Arizona time, but it'll be on Wednesday next week. So, and then going forward, it'll be on Wednesdays, with the exception of coming up like on Thanksgiving, the Wednesday before Thanksgiving, we're going to do Tuesday. But I'll remind you guys, I'll make sure you have a schedule of when our calls are. And then I would like us to have opportunities to share, like, how things are going, you know, ways that we can support each other, and let this be just kind of an opportunity for some dialogue and a little bit of, you know, support and encouragement and even accountability when needed. Okay, so do you guys have any questions or anything you want to add?
I think it'd be fun to have some like fun when we get closer to the holidays, which I know we're in them pretty much once Halloween comes, but it'd be fun to have some alternative fun recipes, you know, to make, like that feel like sweet treats, like our protein bars, your protein balls that you make, and so that'll be kind of fun to talk about that in November as well, and make us feel like we still have something, you know. And I think people appreciate it when you bring something healthy over to their house too, you know, after, you know, a hostess that is doing a party. So it'll be fun to talk about those. Dawn, I know you have a lot of great recipes.
Yeah, and the other, you just made me think how fun it would be to maybe even do a cooking demonstration sometime. So I think that could be a lot of fun, you know, just mixing fun things into this. I think it'll be a lot of fun. But I do, Cindy, I do want to kind of ask a question about the time, because if 7 o'clock is going to be too late for our East Coast folks, maybe we need to talk about whether or not we could do it a little earlier in the evening.
Well, I think that it'll be 9 o'clock for them,
okay,
with the time change, and I think that that's okay. You know, they'll get on when they get on, and they'll be reaching out. Jenny and Delana both have a support person that they can work with, Dawn. So because you could be checking in on a lot of people. So anyone listening to this call that is part of Jenny or Delana or Marie's regions, know that they all have support people to work with you as far as accountability partners. And I think it's great to keep this going. I think it's going to be, we're going to repeat some things so you can bring somebody new to this call that after you've had a few weeks of it, we may kind of repeat some of the 7-day cleanse, add some things, have some different speakers. So anybody at any time can come on, right? We can get them caught up.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So yeah, because I've got a couple people who are interested. Camila is one of them, who are going to be joining us at a later date, but couldn't do it right now. So yeah, so it's going to be great. I'm excited. So yeah, well, let me know if you have any questions or you need any you know, support in any way. If you want any, you know, if you need any additional products, Lynn, I totally forgot to give you the protein yesterday, so I'll make sure I get that to you tomorrow.
Okay.
Because I forgot to bring it. I'm sorry. So, but you know, if there's any other products that you guys want, I mean, I've got it all. And I'd be happy to, you know, have you sample out if you want to try any of the PhytoSport line, or, you know, anything else. So I don't have any of the chews or any of the bars or anything like that. So if that's something that you're interested in trying, I can't help you there. But
you might have gotten the chews done with the holiday line.
Oh, I'll have to look in there.
Yeah. So, and those are, talk about a good cheat. I think they're like a mint chocolate chew.
Oh.
So just know that there's a great chew. But thank you, Dawn.
Thanks, guys.
Appreciate it.
Be motivated, and you know, let me know, like, as you start this, and you know, if you have questions, just or text me, call me, whatever, and I'll walk you through it. But it's pretty simple, and you know, we're telling you, you know, some of the things that arise in terms of symptoms, like during the cleanse, just so you're prepared. It's not that bad. I mean, I'm sitting here right now, and you know, I feel pretty good overall. I just feel like a little sluggish today and like a little cloudy, but it's not that bad. So bear with it. You can do this. And, you know, we're here, like I said, to support you and give you suggestions for tweaks you might need to make if, like, you do get really severe headaches or things like that.
I feel that way now, and I didn't start yet, so it's all good.
Well, you weren't here for the beginning part of the call, but that was, we talked about some of the symptoms that are indicators as to why we might need to detox, and those are some of the symptoms. So look at the handout that I sent, because I know you came on late, but, you know, just indicators of when we should detox. There's a whole section in the handout I sent you. And, you know, you might notice that you have several of them. I had lots of them. So I knew it was time.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So thanks for joining me, and we'll talk to you guys next week.
All right.
Okay. Bye.